Guys, welcome back to the channel and hope you guys are doing well and staying safe out there. First of all, I know you guys see the title of today's video. It's going to be an absolute banger, so make sure you stay right up until the end because it's going to be a very important video. I get this question asked a bunch. In fact, I literally got this question asked literally last night. Talking about last night as well, quick shout out to one of my students, Nick, real quick. He's inside of Agent Tramitation. He actually joined around 5 months ago. So he actually joined on the, when was it? He joined on the 6th of November 2021. So literally 5 months ago. He's now been able to scale his agency all the way past the 8K per month mark, and by the end of the month he's aiming to hit that 9K per month USD with his actual social media marketing agency using Agent Tramitation. So huge shout out to Nick. Honestly, that is absolutely impressive. I mean, the program is designed to take you from 0 to 10K in like 6 to 9 months, but he's already done it in pretty much like 5 months or something like that. You should go on to easy crack that 10K per month mark anyway, but still he's running a 6-figure agency now. So huge shout out to Nick. And by the way, if you guys are interested in Agent Tramitation, the price will be going up because obviously I'm dropping more and more modules. Module 4, should I say week 4, week 5 and week 6 are still yet to be built out. They're still coming though. At this point it's kind of crazy because my program quite literally is still not fully built out. Technically it kind of is because I've already given you guys bonus folders inside of the Agent Tramitation. If you're inside, you know what I'm talking about. But long story short, with a program that is physically not even fully built, somebody's gone or it's actually, I think it's the second or third or fourth actually, I'm not too sure, don't quote me on that, but there's a whole bunch of people scaling their agencies and getting to that infamous 6-figure per year mark of their agencies from a program that's half built. So if you guys are still ready to enroll in that, the whole premise behind that is I can build out the program to be the best it possibly can, and you guys get in for a discount, and I basically build it out so that it's a win-win situation. I get to build the best program for the market, and then you guys obviously get to receive the best program obviously, and you can actually just give me recommendations on what modules you want. That's why I did it like that, by the way. It's quite genius. Steve Madden did a very similar thing when he was launching his shoes and whatnot. So just real quick guys, if you're new around here as well, please drop a like, comment and subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And again, Agent Tramitation is open for enrollment. The link is below like I said. So real quick, how do you come up with an offer for your social media marketing agency? Okay, so I just want to quickly break this down, right? Because a lot of people actually make a mistake at this, and here's what I mean. Most people kind of start an SMA like this. What they do is, first of all, normally what I found with people is that they'll do this. They'll be working like a job, or they'll be in college or school or whatever they're doing, and they're trying to escape that. So they try, or they're just broke in general, and they just want to make some money. They then start typing in how to make money online, and they come across the same infamous business models such as like drop shipping, Amazon FBA, affiliate marketing, trading, crypto, all that sort of stuff. And then eventually I've noticed what they do is they kind of start with drop shipping because they think it's easy. Then they realize that there's a lot more work that goes into drop shipping, and Facebook itself, when you run ads, don't really like drop shipping stores, that sort of stuff. There's obviously fulfillment and stuff like that in terms of shipping your actual products over to people, and it takes quite a while if it's going from China to mainland US and whatnot. So it's really harder than what it sounds. Basically, they then settle on SMMA. So they normally transition from dropshipping to SMMA, and by the way, I did this as well. It was a very good move, by the way. So long story short, they then start going to SMA, and they start kind of like doubling down on SMMA. That's the method they chose, the vehicle, if you will. They then start watching videos on YouTube like how to start an SMA, all that sort of stuff, and the same infamous gurus pop up all the time. And what they end up doing is just picking literally the same service and just offering it to the same niche. So what they do is just go and pick Facebook ads, and they try to offer it to either local businesses or Ecom businesses or info product businesses. Now, don't get me wrong, that can work and it's good to model successful people. However, you haven't done any ample research, and I've noticed that a lot of people fail because of this. And the reason why they fail because of this is because they don't actually understand the actual pain problems of the actual niche. Now, me personally, I have a saying that I always say to my students, and that is, give Susie what Susie wants for lunch, right? And what I mean by that is, let's pretend that me and you right now, whoever's watching this, let's pretend your name's John. Let's pretend me and you right now, John, whoever's watching this, if your name's actually John, shout out to you, put it in the comment section. That's pretty hilarious. But long story short, let's pretend me and you right now, we have a bet with each other. We're sat on a park bench, I don't know, we're in Times Square for example, or some shit like that. We're on a bench, and a woman comes and sits next to us, or across from us should I say, and we're just gonna hypothetically call this woman Susie. This is gonna make sense in a second, by the way guys. So let's pretend that this woman comes and sits across from us, and we for some reason are bored out of our heads, and we're just gonna come up with a basic bet, for example. So here's the bet. The person who can kind of guess what this person wants for lunch first and correctly wins $50 off the other person. Now, me and you can sit here, right, and do all this analysis, all this guessing, all this deduction like Sherlock Holmes, maybe looking at her shoes, seeing that she's wearing active shoes, and maybe that could deduce that she's maybe an active woman, and therefore she might like really healthy foods like tuna salads and stuff like that. So we could do all of that sort of stuff. Or the smart person could literally just go over to Susie, tap her on her shoulder, and be like, look, I'm in a stupid bet right now, but I'm winning $50. If you don't mind, I'll give you $10 if you want. Really, the bet is person who can guess what you want for lunch today, I know it's stupid, wins $50. What do you want for lunch? So realistically, what I'm trying to say here is the smart person would literally just go to the woman and ask Susie what Susie wants for lunch. Give her that lunch if you want. You don't have to give her the lunch, it's just a bet. But you get the point I'm trying to make. Most people are doing this. They just pick Facebook ads and they just grab a niche and they just try to slam Facebook ads into that particular niche. That doesn't really work, guys. You have to give Susie what Susie wants for lunch. Kind of a bit of tongue twister there. So I call this the reverse market approach. And here's what I mean by this. So what you want to do first and foremost is you want to pick and identify a niche. Now, the way how you go about picking a niche is I would recommend this. Find a niche that you actually do ample research on. And I'm literally meaning like go and take a look at the trends in different niches and what they're kind of like projected to hit, their kind of like market cap, if you will, or their market share, if you will, and just overall gross sales in that market over the next like 3, 4, 5 years, I would say. So for example, if you go and look at like, I don't know, real estate agents, go and take a look at what that industry is projected to kind of like hit in the next, 5 years. Go and look at like what Ecom's projected to hit in the next 5 years. Go look at what other niches are projected to hit in the next 5 years. Also ask yourself questions, and this is the first part, by the way, just picking a niche first. You want to pick a niche first because that's kind of like your hypothesis. Your hypothesis, it's almost like science. When you come up with a science experiment and you want to figure something out, you first set an hypothesis and then you go about testing that hypothesis with you keep constants and you test different variables, if you will. So that's the way how I look at it. It's all a game of science here. So what you want to do is you want to set a hypothesis first. So you say to yourself, I think I can help e-commerce brands. The reason why I picked e-commerce brands, I think I can help e-commerce brands pull in customers in some way, shape or form because I know that industry is going to be growing. There's going to be more e-com brands and stuff like that coming in the future, and it's projected to hit X trillion by this particular day. That would be a good indication. Another little good indication, by the way, guys, is when you're picking a niche, I really want you to think if that niche is going to be around for the long term. As in, like, is this a niche that is going to be disrupted by like another pandemic? If it does, it's probably not. It might not be a good fit. It might be a good fit for the short term, but long term, it might not be a good fit. I also want you to look at other factors such as, is it geographically restricted? And what I mean by that is, let's say you're working with real estate agents. You can only realistically work with a real estate agent and get them customers around the local area, realistically, within like a 50-mile radius or whatever, or whatever it is. Same thing with a gym. You're not really going to travel 100 miles, right? Like for me, for example, I'm not going to travel. I'm in Sheffield. I'm not going to travel all the way down to London every single day just to go to a certain gym, just because it's a really good gym. It's physically just not going to happen. London is literally 3 hours away by car. So I'm not actually going to do that. So that's what I mean by geographically restricted. Whereas online businesses, such as e-com brands, such as info products, you can see the appeal there. As in, like, these people or these brands or these businesses, if you will, aren't geographically restricted, which basically means it's not going to have a negative knock-on effect to your business. And here's what I mean by that. An e-com brand realistically can sell, if they've got the right infrastructure in place, obviously in delivery and fulfillment centers and stuff like that, they'll be able to sell a product to pretty much any country, to anyone around the world. Which basically means they're not also geopolitically restricted neither. And what I mean by that is, let's say some new regulation comes across, and for example, like Brexit, in the UK leaving the EU, if you will, that kind of can mess up shipping and all that sort of stuff. So certain businesses might be affected by stuff like that, political reasons, if you will, and the government, if you will. So if a new legislation comes around in your country, I don't even have any examples off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure somebody watching this can actually think of something better than me, but I'm just giving you guys ideas on how to pick a good niche, if you will, because that's the first pick. So you need to identify a niche, and then what you want to do is identify the problems within that niche. But long story short, just make sure you factor in all the characteristics of your niche. So once you've got your actual niche down, right, and you've actually picked a niche and done ample research, you can actually back it up on why you've picked that particular niche. It's actually a good niche, if you will, which, the research indicates if it's a good niche or not. The actual research will tell you. Then the second thing you want to do is you want to find a common problem within that particular niche. You want to make sure it's an A1 problem, if you will. It's a big problem these people are actually struggling with. Now, most of the time, that's going to be struggling with getting customers in some way, shape or form. Now, there's many ways you can actually solve getting customers for a business. You can do, for example, like for like an ecom brand, you can do conversion rate optimization. They might be getting traffic, but they're not converting that traffic on their website because the website looks terrible. They're not using 3D photos or product videos, or their overall website is just looking a little bit janky and not really optimized, if you will. So that's one way. Yes, obviously we know Facebook ads. You can go and do Facebook ads. Another way you could actually go and help them get customers is by helping them create better product shots, product photos, product videos, user generated content, that sort of stuff. You can help them with that. You can also help them with influencer marketing. You can help them with email marketing. You can help them with a whole bunch, SMS marketing. You can help a whole bunch of different kind of like services. This is where it kind of comes into what to actually offer. Now, what you want to do is you don't want to just follow everybody else and just like offer Facebook ads. You want to actually think outside the box. What is it that they need help with? So the way you figure this out though is you need to come out of yourself, if you will. You can't just sit there at your desk and think, oh, what can I help ecom brands with? I think they need help with this. Now, you don't want to do that because that's a guessing and it's assuming. And as they say, you know what happens when you assume. You make an ass out of you and me, as a cliche saying goes. But long story short, guys, you want to make sure that you actually do primary and secondary research. Secondary and primary research. So secondary research is obviously looking at places such as like blogs, doing ample research in forums, and I literally just use Google, to be honest with you. When I actually come up with an offer, here's what I basically do. I literally just go on Google, like, what are the problems for so-and-so niche? So for example, what do ecom brands want the most? I literally just type this into Google. I am not even joking. What do ecom brands want the most? What do they desire the most? What struggles do ecom brand owners have? What does it look like to be an actual ecom brand owner? What does the day-to-day look like of running an ecom brand? I literally Google all of this and I come across forums, and what I do is I actually look to see if there's common problems within these forums. And this is what I want you to do. Every problem that you kind of find that keeps reoccurring, that's your problem right there that you should be solving. Because if it keeps coming up from multiple different sources that are unconnected, so for example, if you go on a forum and you see that like 10 different people have got a very, very, very similar problem, then that's exactly what you should be writing down on a piece of paper, because that's the market telling you what they want. That's basically Susie telling you what Susie wants for lunch. So hopefully this is becoming a little bit more clearer now. And obviously you can obviously go across all different forums, blogs, YouTube videos, podcasts. Literally what you're doing is you're just listening, and this is what you need to do as an entrepreneur. You need to be able to adapt your ears to hear problems as opportunities. As soon as you hear a problem that keeps recurring, you should be like, I keep hearing this problem popping up every single where I kind of like I look for this particular niche. That must mean that there's a problem that can be solved there. That's an opportunity, if you will. Now, how do I go about solving that? Now, that's the next step. So what you do now is, now that you've actually gone out and done ample research, that's secondary research, by the way, that's secondary research. Now that you've actually got this problem and you've actually can see that this is genuinely a problem, now what you can do is you can actually go out there and actually start collecting businesses in the niche. So what I would do is, if I was you, is I would pick the niche, find the common problem through looking through secondary research, and then I would do a primary research. Primary research is basically literally just asking business owners within that niche what it's like to be an ecom brand owner. I would literally, I'm not even joking, I would literally go and send out probably like 100, 200 emails to people and just literally ask them, not even sell them anything or even try to get them on a meeting. I would literally just ask them, hey John, I know that you're super busy and stuff like that. I'm really just doing some research because I want to become an ecom brand owner myself. I just want to know what sort of common problems you face when it comes to running your business. Obviously do some little bit of research into their business and give them a little bit of a compliment to kind of stroke their ego. I'd be like, hey John, you know, seen that you're running a really successful business. I seen that blog that you did with so-and-so back in 2021. Congratulations on the success. As a successful business owner, I would really just want to ask you, what are the common problems that you're actually facing on a day-to-day basis, or even what are the problems you're facing on a day-to-day basis? What if you could fix these problems, what would that actually look like? If you could ideally fix something, the one thing in your business, what would that be? That's a really powerful one. If you could fix one thing in your business, what would that actually be? And what I would do is I'd actually start collecting responses. But obviously not everybody's going to respond to you. Some people are going to, in fact, most people are probably going to say, I'm not interested, go away, because they're just so used to just being sold some shit, so they're probably going to just tell you to go away. But some people are actually going to answer you, and what you're going to do is you're going to collect these answers. As many as you basically need to solidify that instinct, not just instinct, but what you've actually found through secondary research. That primary research will back it up, and if it does back it up, you've got something right. You've literally got something there. You've got a problem to actually solve. Then what I would do is I would figure out ways to come up with kind of like, it's almost like you've now got a keyhole, right? You've got the keyhole. Now it's time to try figure out what to offer. That might be Facebook ads, it might be TikTok ads, it might be Google ads, it might be SEO, it might be email marketing. And by the way, you don't know what key. You will not know what key fits this door until you actually go out there and start sending offers to people. Now, what I would do is I would hypothetically start saying to people, hey, look, I can help you with this particular problem via this key, and the key is obviously the service that you're going to be providing. So if you found that ecom brands really need help getting high quality traffic, for example, and that's the problem they keep mentioning over and over and over and over again, well, then you know you need to figure out some way to get traffic. Well, then what you would do is go to Google and you would literally just type in how to get high quality traffic for ecom brands, and then what you'd probably come across is stuff, basically paid advertising. It would be paid advertising in some way, shape or form, such as influencer marketing, it would be Facebook ads, it would be SEO, Google ads, that sort of stuff. If it's something more on the back end, such as they're getting traffic, again, this is all research you have to do. If you hear a problem such as they're getting traffic but they can't actually convert that traffic into actual sales, so the quality of traffic is not actually that bad, their conversion rate on their website is like 0.5%, for example, then obviously what you would need to do is, and you keep hearing this, by the way, and it's a common recurrence, then what I would do if I was you, I would offer conversion rate optimization. Now, here's why I call this reverse market approach, because you're going to do it in reverse. Most people pick a service first and then go and try offer that to a niche. What we're doing different is we're picking a niche, identifying a common problem within that niche, and then coming up with a solution that we can offer to that particular niche in order to solve that problem, even if we don't know how to actually do the actual solution ourselves, if you will. This is the key. It doesn't actually matter, right? Just right now, we're in the research phase. So forget about whether or not you can do Facebook ads, whether or not you can do TikTok ads. Just literally pick a solution you think right now, and you can actually validate what actually help them with that particular problem. So all you're doing right now is you're trying to fit the right key in the right door hole, if you will, in the right keyhole, if you will. So that's what you're trying to do, even if you don't know how to deliver that service yourself. And then the last piece of the puzzle is once you've actually got people responding back to you saying, hey, yeah, that would be awesome, let's move ahead, or let's jump on a call. And by the way, the way how you do this is you just message people, like I'm literally not even joking, this is called research. It's called research. Say, hey, if I could help you solve this problem, so all the people that you kind of like messaged before and whatnot, and you ask them what their problems were, now what you want to do is message them again and say, hey, look, if I can help you with this problem via, running TikTok ads, do you reckon that would actually be, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but do you reckon that would actually be a viable way to actually help you with this? And then what you're going to do is you're going to collect responses such as yes, no, maybe, this and that. And if it is, if you actually validate and you can see that the offer is actually working, then you've got the right key. Now that you've got the right key, obviously you need to be able to produce this service, if you will. So let's say you found out it's TikTok ads that these ecom brands really want, and you've actually asked them, and you're going to give, now you need to give Susie what Susie wants for lunch. The only problem is that you don't know how to make the lunch yourself, if you will. So now you need to find a chef. So your chef will be obviously your TikTok media buyer, for example. So what you would do is you actually go out there and find a TikTok ad specialist, and you would actually use their case study results. Obviously make sure that you understand TikTok ads yourself as well. So I do ample research on that. And then what you do is you go and offer that same that same service, if you will, to that particular niche. Now if you kind of want to increase the perceived value of your offer itself and come up with a really good, strong offer, there's kind of like 4 ways of doing this, and kind of Alex Hormozi kind of breaks this down in his book as well. Number 1 is obviously you can increase the perceived end result. So instead of saying I can help you go from, I don't know, 20k to 50k with your ecom brand via TikTok ads, you would say something on the lines of I can help you go from 20k to 500k per month with TikTok ads. Obviously don't just be spitting out just random BS numbers that you can't back up and stuff like that. So that's one way. The second way would be decreasing the actual risk, if you will. So that would be like offering a guarantee. So that would obviously be like saying, if you don't do this, then I'll give you a refund, or I'll work for you for free. So that's decreasing the risk. Then you can also decrease the time frame. Decreasing time frame would be saying, like, instead of me helping you go from 20k per month for your ecom brand to 500k per month for your ecom brand in, I don't know, 2 years, I can do that in 2 months, for example. That would obviously be the extreme example. You get the point I'm trying to make here, guys. And then the last way you would do that would be to decrease the amount of effort on their end, perceived effort on their end, which would be obviously saying that I can help you do this completely automated. I do it all myself. There's no work you have to do. It's almost like the perfect pill. Again, the way how this offer basically works and how you strengthen an offer is basically saying, like, let's pretend that there's a pill that can cure any disease. All you have to do is swallow that, and it's instant, and it works 100% of the time. There you go. That would be the perfect offer. So that's what you're basically doing with your offers to strengthen your offer. So that's how you come up with an offer. the first bit, and that's how you strengthen the offer, that last couple of minutes I just said there. Anyway guys, hope that you've enjoyed this video. Hope that it was very useful. Again, the reverse market approach is select a niche. You want to set a hypothesis by selecting a niche. Then what you do is you actually find a common problem within that niche, and you actually verify it through primary and secondary research. Then what you do is you try to fit the actual key into the hole. Now that you've got a problem, now you need to come up with a solution basically. Once you've got a solution, you verify it again by primary research, and then what you do is you go and offer that by either doing it yourself or finding someone that can actually offer that service to that particular person. And that's how you basically, and then all you can do, by the way, it's the last step, is you can actually strengthen it by, you know, doing the, I call it the magic pill, the 4 pillars of the magic pill, if you will. So long story short, hope you guys are doing well. Again, if you guys are looking for one-to-one help from me as well, there are 4 spots available for April. It's now Thursday, the 21st of April. So I do have 4 spots out of the 5. I just had one person take it 2 days ago. So there's actually 5 spots available pretty much per month, something like that at this particular point. Just had somebody join the one-to-one program again, and I've only got 4 spots available. So if you want to work with me one-to-one, scale your agency, scale your personal brand, that is something I can help you with. Go below, I'll put like a little video walkthrough on what all that is, and you can learn more about that. It's the bottom of the page. When you click on the link, scroll to the bottom of the page, there's a video, it explains all about the one-to-one program. And if you guys are interested in enrolling in instrumentation, it's still open for enrollment for $597 US. So take a look into that if you're interested. Anyway guys, hope you're doing well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.